Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Texas Family Fitness, Freeman Mazda Hyundai, and Worth the Poor. I am your host. I need a big boom for y'all. Boom! Will Skywalker still in the building. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate all you guys joining me early at the notification squad. Salute to y'all. Jerry, old Jerry, he's at it again. He's at it again. But it's cool. We're going to have some fun today. Not really at Jerry Jones' expense, but he opened his mouth. He started talking about the Cowboys trading up, trading down, making moves. So we're going to do a different version of a mock draft today. Maybe we'll do a normal one, but we're going to do a different version of the mock draft. And you guys are once again going to help. I'm going to play Jerry, but y'all going to help me out on this one and see what we can do. He also announced the big business decision. I mean, I really don't care. But we'll talk about that in the roundup very briefly. Very, very briefly. We knew it wasn't going to be anything crazy or anything football related. It's all about them pockets, though, for Jerry. Gotta fatten up them pockets, Cowboys Nation. Gotta fatten them up. But what's up with you guys, man? Good morning. It's Thursday. We're one day away from the weekend, a weekend where I'm chilling. Absolutely not doing much of anything. Got some things I got to do with the dog and the fam, but I ain't doing too much else. We chilling. Let's get some shout-outs with you. James Rogley, King Trill, Danny Savage, Damian R, TC915, Primetime Phil, OG Big Bird. B-Bird in the building. Who? Mac Jones. Big H, what up? Iceberg Q, Captain America. How goes it, sir? Big Sarge, Toxic Tom down here. I still got to get used to that toxic part. Gregory, Grant Rainwater, B47, Vic, what it do? Adam Mack, The Truth, MDP, MJ, hello. And then over on Facebook in the building. Joey Vella, Peter Rizzo, Joseph Robert, Oscar Sullivan was good. Chuck P, Dion Brown, what's going on? Joey, Dion, I already said that. Nick Munoz, what's going on, Nick? CJ Richards was good. Jorge Santos, and the many more coming through. Appreciate you guys joining me early this morning. What's up, Frederick? What's going on with you? What's up, Matt, Roger, Esther B, Tino? Good show, fun show. Y'all know when we do the mock drafts, we're trying to do them this whole month, leading up, starting the first week of April till next Thursday. We'll do one more next week, maybe with Mo. I think that's what we're going to do. But today is a bit different, right? Jerry, opened his mouth talking about trading up, so we're going to see if we can do that. We're going to see what that looks like in the mock draft situation. Now, you also could call into the show. Where's it at? Here we go. 351-999-3787. 351-999-3787. I've been asked this question for the last few weeks. We talk about it here on the show. Who's the player that you trade up for? There ain't too many. But for this exercise, we're going to try to do so. The mock draft, we're going to slow it down, and we're going to see where we can go, because we're also going to take a look at the history of the Cowboys trading in the first round. They move around a lot, whether it be down or up. They do move around. They just moved around last year, so we'll see what those things look like. All right. Toxic said, cap space is what you trade for. I mean, didn't we already do that with Amari Cooper? They literally traded Amari Cooper for cap. No. I mean, he really did. They really didn't trade for cap space. That was the added bonus. That was part of it. I mean, but you could say they did the same thing for La'el Collins. They traded those guys away for cap space. So, I mean, it's funny, but it's true. Right? All right, let's get into this roundup.
Look at them, Gucci, it's about that time. It's time! It is time for.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Yes, indeed. The morning roundup presented by Texas Family Fitness. Strive for progress, not perfection. Fitness goals are not accomplished with one workout. Progress towards your goals with Texas Family Fitness. They still are doing the 10 for 10. Sign up for $10, and then it's $10 a month for the rest of the month. Check out any of the Texas Family Fitness locations in the DFW area. There's 13 different gyms. Or visit Texas Family Fitness, y'all. TexasFamilyFitness.com, and let them know that we sent you. Let me just get this part out the way, because I didn't catch this earlier in the week. But we've been talking about receivers a lot. We've even talked about Simi and how he has an opportunity early on, no matter really what happens in the draft. But Des Bryant came out and gave Simi Fehoko a shout-out. Big salute. He called him a baller. And Simi responded with only a matter of time, 100 all love. Remember earlier this year in this offseason, McCarthy told Simi Fehoko, potentially this year you can gain a little bit more weight, and we can use you more like a hybrid tight end receiver type body. I'm still wondering what is that going to look like, right? Fehoko said, I'll have a bigger role. I'd say in the offense and in special teams. I have no problem, obviously, gaining weight, and playing at a higher weight isn't a problem. Regardless of who they draft, Fehoko will have an opportunity. He'll be a player to watch in all of the offseason workouts and camps, but I think we'll know sooner rather than later if he's going to actually have a role early on in this season. Because without Michael Gallup, regardless if they draft a guy or not, guys like Simi and Noah, I guess Vasher, I don't know. But Simi, Noah, and Washington are going to be competing for playing time. All right, now let's get to the business decision, partnership, whatever the heck you want to call it. Cowboys became the first NFL team to add a digital currency platform as a sponsor by partnering with blockchain.com. Now, I'm not here to crap on cryptocurrency or whatever. I'm pretty sure there's people out there listening that participate in the crypto world. But it's about football, and I truly don't care. But Jerry, your general manager, ladies and gentlemen, your president, 2 weeks out from the draft. That's what he's working on. I'm just saying. And yes, I know, before y'all throw tomatoes at me, Jerry is not the football guy and all this. He's got a team, Will McClay and all those dudes. I totally understand. But on the other hand, your general manager is locking down blockchain deals and out the same mouth talking about trading up. Wildcat and Jerry talking about trading up. Here, I'll let y'all listen to it if you missed it yesterday.
I would trade up this draft and just going in as much as you can say about it until you see what's there, who's on the other end of the line. But I would trade up to, since we're down as low as we are in those first 2 or 3 rounds, if we had a chance to, and somebody that we had really coveted was sitting at the bottom, Frederick. We're sitting down there at the bottom, and we were able to trade up and get him.
Okay,
I'll let you guys listen to that again without the music in the background, because it was lower than I expected. Here you go.
I would trade up this draft and just going in as much as you can say about it until you see what's there, who's on the other end of the line. But I would trade up to, since we're down as low as we are in those first 2 or 3 rounds, if we had a chance to, and somebody that we had really coveted was sitting at the bottom, Frederick. We're sitting down there at the bottom, and we were able to trade up and get him.
Okay,
so someone said, he mentioned Frederick. Do you think that's his way of implying Linderbaum? I think Jerry's older, right? He's forgetful. You know what I mean? I think he forgot they traded down for Travis Frederick. But sometimes with Jerry, you got to sift through the Jerryisms. He didn't give you a lot of those, but again, he's older. He's an older man. So I think what he's really implying is that he'll move around. Now, he brought up trading up, and if he didn't bring up Frederick, I would have thought, okay, he's just specifically talking about trading up. But he's talking about moving around in general, and not just in day 1, but on day 2, because he brought up in the first 2 days. So remember, they traded up for Lee. They traded up for D-Law and things like that in the second round. And then last year or 2 years ago, they traded up for Biotish in the 4th round. So, they're accustomed to moving around. I mean, if you go look at the history of Jerry Jones in the draft, he moves around a lot. But specifically in the 1st round, they've moved up and down. They have. Since 2000, let's remember Roy Williams. They traded down a few spots, picked up safety Roy Williams. 04, that was the one where it was like a cringe trade. They traded the 22nd overall pick for 43 and picked up a 2005 first-round pick that ended up being Marcus Spears. But that was the draft that Bill ended up taking Julius Jones in the 2nd round, and Steven Jackson went in the 1st. Julius was cool. He was a fine little running back, but Steven Jackson was extremely better and would have obviously been a better pick. And then I believe in 07, they traded the 22nd overall pick to Cleveland for 36 and picked up an extra first in 2008, which turned into Felix Jones. So those are some of the big ones since 2000. Now I'm going to show you since 2010, or from 2000 to 2010. Here are some of the first-round trades since 2010. Obviously, we remember Des Bryant. Cowboys came up 3 spots from 27 to 24, and it cost them, obviously, the 24th pick and the 3rd rounder. Now, keep that in mind, that 3rd round pick. 2 years later, they traded up from 14 to 6 It cost them 14 and 45, aka is basically a second round pick. In 2013, this is what is really weird. They traded down from 18 to 31, and they picked up Travis Frederick. A lot of people didn't like Travis Frederick. I actually was okay with that because going back if I remember correctly, I absolutely hated our center situation. We needed a center, so that the pick didn't bother me. It was the compensation. I look at a lot of teams that move up or down 13 spots, and you only picked up a third-round pick. It's like, what are we doing here? But it worked out. Dallas got Travis Frederick, I believe. I don't know if he'll be a Hall of Famer, but had he not retired, he would have been a Hall of Famer. And the reason why I say keep that third-round pick in mind for Dez is because 3 years later, moving back 13 spots, he only picked up 3, but a team that moved up 3 spots picked up a 3. So Dallas is hit or miss when it comes to the actual compensation. And then in 2021, they moved back 2 spots and got a third-round pick. And that turned out to be, I think, Nashawn or one of those guys last year, and got Micah Parsons. So Dallas moves around. They move around, and really, we probably should expect them to do so this draft. But I'm still struggling on moving up. And that's why I want to play this little game here, this mock draft game, and see if I don't think it's worth it, but if we can make it happen and still be okay. Still be okay, because there are a lot of positions that the Dallas Cowboys need to fill, whether it be starters or rotation or what have you, reserves. They got some holes to fill. Oscar says, I would not mind if they aim to get 2 picks in the second round, trade a 4th or one of the 5ths this year. It's going to, you're talking about the bottom of the second if you're talking about those 4ths, and you're likely going to have to give up a 3rd. So for those that do all this moving around, bring up your trade charts and all that good stuff, and let's see what we can do. Tino, oh yeah, I talked about Mo Claiborne. Talked about that. Tino said a while ago they moved up to pick up Mo. Yeah, that's on here, Mo, or Tino. Edward says it's a very tough draft to predict. So many players are valued differently by each team. Yeah, that's most drafts, but I think it definitely is a tough draft because after the first 10 to 12 picks, again, I've seen players get mocked at 14 and then get mocked at 28. So it's going to be interesting. Joseph says, Sky, give us your top 3 to 5 trade-up players. Mine are Stingley, Wilson, Davis. Left tackle, NC. Oh, and Kwanu, Jermaine from the Seminoles. I wouldn't put Jermaine up there, but the rest, if any of those tackles, specifically Cross, I mean, I don't expect Kwanu to fall, but my goodness, if he's there. I wouldn't trade up for Stingley. Listen, I like Stingley, but I'm not trading up for a cornerback at this moment. Wilson, I'm not trading up for Garrett either. Davis, Cross, Kwanu. Hey, let's see.
I would trade.
My bad. Let me get him out of here.
This draft.
Let's see, because if Stingley falls to you like 20, I mean, yeah, sure. But we're talking. I'm not trying to trade up into the top 15. That's going to cost you that second round pick, I think, right? Y'all got all the trade charts. Y'all let me know. So, again, today, we're going to have a little fun. Going to try something a little different. By the way, I forgot to show y'all this part right here. Let me get back to this. Did you see what Jerry Jones did yesterday when he came to the balcony at the Star? Look at this.
Our subjects. Our subjects. Our subjects.
Hey, Jerry, a wild boy. He's a wild boy. What owner is doing stuff like this? Like, I appreciate Jerry's humor and everything. I do. To be as old as he is, he still has a great sense of humor. But don't y'all think it's just a little bit truth to that? Just my subjects. So today I'm going to be Jerry Jones. We're going to go to the war room. I'm going to be Jerry. Y'all going to be my subjects. Y'all going to help me out with this draft, man. We're going to try to trade up and see what we can get. But, boy, Jerry just never fails us, man. He never fails us. All right, before we get into this before we get into this mock draft, let me tell you about Worth the Poor. One thing we can all agree on is that the Cowboys, a.k.a. Jerry Jones and his subjects, can be stressful. So take the edge off of game days, take the edge off of the offseason, the draft, all that good stuff, and stop by Worth the Poor Spirits and Wine in the colony of Texas. Worth the Poor is a family-owned and operated luxury liquor store with affordable prices and a wide variety of spirit, wine, and beer samples. All right? And for that game day party that won't end, they even offer liquor deliveries to all of North Texas. So to make Worth the Poor a part of your game day routine, download the app. Okay? Go to the discount code part, type in A to Z Sports, and get your 5% off all orders. $20 or more. That's right. Download the app on Google Play, Apple App Store, wherever you need to. Go online, put in A to Z Sports for the discount, and get your 5% off, or just straight up visit worththepoor.com. There you go.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions.
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
Do it live. We got a couple super chats. Appreciate y'all. Let me get to them. B Bird. He says, I have no value for picks after round 4. I tend to agree. My guy Twan says, appreciate the donation. All right, let's get a good draft. Indeed, let's do it. See, we got somebody on the horn. Do we want to attack that real quick before we do so? Hey, Twan, we missed you yesterday, man. I was excited to get you in on that show yesterday because we were talking about your man, Zeke. And I know you was definitely coming through. You wasn't going to let us talk about Zeke without your input. So we'll have to do that again. We'll do the horn real quick, and then we'll come back after that, and we'll attack this mock draft. We got A Hatch in the building. What's up, man?
Man, what's up with it, baby?
What's
My
good?
boy Skywalker. What's good, boy?
I'm feeling good, man.
Hey, man, I'm so proud of you, man. You know, I've been watching on the volume. You were about, man, I knew you was going to get that paper, baby. I told you, you know.
Hey, listen, bro, we got to, man. Got to for the fam.
Hey, I told you the future Stephen A, man. I mean, not Stephen A, it's Stuart Scott, baby. I told you.
Yo, that's crazy you say Stuart Scott because he was my inspiration into wanting to get into, I don't want to say media, but sports broadcasting.
Yeah, I told you. I saw him in you, bro. And you know what I'm saying? I've been away because I've been, you know, focused on my AAU coaching, you know what I'm saying? Running the organization, make sure everything's right. But Skywalker, my boy, paper chaser, we got to trade back. Skywalker. Because they left us with no doubt.
That's wrong.
We got to, bro. It's too many holes to fill, bro. And guess what? You done had me go on and tinker with the PFF, little simulation and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Simulation, I'm on that mud. If you trade back with Tennessee and you throw in Tristan Hill or AB, bro, it's so many picks we can get that we gonna need. Yeah. So I'm just telling you, when you trade back, think about throwing in a player or two that we don't really want, that we don't really need.
You know, that's interesting, Hatch, because I when we were trading around, we weren't even thinking about trading players because I don't think you can on the PFF mock. But
oh yeah, you can, Scott. Go to the bottom. Yeah, go all the way to the bottom. Once you trade, go to past the next year round, and then it's gonna say select a player.
Okay, well, I don't think we won't do it today because I don't want to mess things up. Yeah. But I think I'm gonna definitely play around with it. So next time we do it, maybe we'll throw in a wrinkle and throw in a player.
But you know, I ain't want too much another Skywalker. Oh, one thing I did want you to look at. If we don't get Jelani Woods, don't think Derek Dees Jr. can't do the same. That's a late round pick, tight end. About 1,500 yards, man.
Yeah, let me say this, Hatch. I love Jelani Woods, but I'm also not naive to the fact that or oblivious to the fact that there are other tight ends that the Cowboys could get to, right? Like he's my pet cat, but there are a handful of tight ends I think could be really good tight end twos year one.
Right. But that's all I want, Skywalker, man. Keep doing what you do, man. I'm gonna check out on the volume. Hey, man, y'all hit them likes, man. Hey, keep supporting the kid, man. Doing big things. And, hey, Scott, one more thing. When you get with Vach, you bring him down here, bro, take him to Texas de Brazil so y'all can eat like kings, bro.
What's it called?
Texas de Brazil. Yeah. It's all-you-can-eat. Right. Meat, smashed potatoes, everything. You got a little, what is it? It's like a coaster. It's a green light on there. So they bring you filet mignon, everything with the green light up. And then, hey, and when you done, you hit the red light, and they'll stop come serving you. So, you know, that's something where you and Vach, when he comes to the city, you need to take him, bro.
He be here soon. I got it written down. Texas de Brazil.
And make sure y'all make reservations before you go. You know, Hatchie big.
Hey,
so,
I learned that moving to Texas, you got to make reservations for damn near everything you go to around here.
Sure. And hey, I hopefully you hit that Earl Smith fight.
Man, my guy, I forget what's his name. He couldn't give me the tickets, but I would have to really look around now.
All right, well, you know I'm gonna see that. I'll see what I can do for you, bro.
Get with me. I'm on Twitter. Hit me up.
All right, be easy. Y'all be safe, man.
You too, bro. Texas de Brazil, got that written down. Twan, funny. Twan said
super chat.
Appreciate the $5. He said, no, my blood pressure couldn't take it yesterday. Good miss for me. So don't play about Zeke, bro. He don't play. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'll get one more. D Shift calling. He premium. Let's get D Shift, and then we're going to hit the draft.
Hey, man, kind of cool to be premium, bro.
Premium, bro. Premium.
I appreciate it, man. Man, as we get closer to this draft, man, I'm feeling more settled about this team.
Okay.
You also got to account for the, things might not pan out for all these teams that you're kind of seeing. They got a little stronger in free agency. But I think where we were and compared to what we lost, I think I'm kind of a little more settled and kind of stepping away from the panic button. I just because I feel like we can get that production replaced. It's not like you lost Cooper Kupp, you know what I mean? We lost Cooper, and it's
I'm gonna let
as
you
much
have
as
I'm gonna let you have that one D Shift. I'm gonna go ahead.
Well, because you know how I felt about Cooper. I was a guy that was pounding you on the head about don't sign Michael Gallup because you already got Cooper and Lamb. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then but I got to be real about the situation too, and I think when you're actually real about it, I think the assets weren't utilized, so you never really saw it to its full potential. So it's like you didn't really get to enjoy the possibilities of that production, and I think it was more on politics. And so if you kind of dismiss the politics out the room and just get a young guy in there, maybe this offense could benefit from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying the guy will come close to what Amari Cooper is, just stepping in day one. But I can say there were games where, as talented as Amari Cooper was, it just never panned out, right?
Yeah, you basically saying the Cowboys can survive without Amari Cooper.
It's fairly remained to be seen. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, not being naive about it. We definitely know that there was a big drop in talent, but were you utilizing the talent? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like having a $5,000 riding lawnmower that's like you're not really using. So, just get something else in here.
D-Shift is kind of what I said the other day. I don't know if you watched the CD Lamb episode where I said it's not CD Lamb that I doubt. It's not Amari Cooper that I doubt. It's the offensive coordinator, his ability to be able to feature said player, and then it's the quarterback, Dak Prescott and Kellen Moore, and it's up to the quarterback to say, screw your game plan, screw this play call. I like this matchup. I'm going to this guy because you're better than that corner. So it's not those skill guys that I doubt. It's what's around them, and I don't doubt them. I shouldn't say I don't. I do. I'm lying. I do doubt it a little bit. Because they are just so conditioned and programmed to, hey, this is the system, this is what we got to do, yada yada yada. But there's times in the game, there's certain games where throw that shit out the window, man. He can't guard you. Get him the rock.
Yeah, I just hopefully, I don't know, by doing that they'll have to be forced to move in another direction. You know, like this is almost making them. It's almost forcing them to have to rebuild that offensive line, right? And as many, you know, Dak had incredible weapons last year, but the O-line wasn't. It was spotty at times.
You know what sucks?
It was great the first half of the season.
What sucks about Cooper, Gallup, and Amari, we never saw them play consecutively with Dak for real. That sucks.
Never.
2020, Dak got hurt in 5 games, and then last year, what was it? Gallup got hurt in game 1. Came back. Amari Cooper was out with the COVID. Came back. Then 2 games later or whatever it was, Gallup got hurt again, and we just never saw it all come together. So,
I mean, really, we never really. Well, Cooper, like since he's been there, you know, when he got shunned after that Eagles game, you know, and when he changed the call or something, or influenced that to change that call.
That was 2018.
And that's been. Yeah, and that's been going on since 2018, and I think if you can get a guy who has just a better rapport, because it was obvious that they were intentionally getting Amari out of the game plan, and so if you just bring in a guy who doesn't have, so to say, this air kind of, you know, is just coming in fresh, maybe you get a weapon that will be utilized more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Somebody that's not going to, and I don't think Coop stirred the pot, to be honest with you, but Coop had, you know, I don't want to say a pass, but Coop was established. So when you have an established player, they have expectations. And when those expectations aren't met, they feel like they have the juice to say something. And Coop said something, right? It wasn't even crazy, but he said something. A rookie, a second-year guy, they're not going to talk, right? A young buck that comes in here is not going to speak up over a CeeDee Lamb, a Gallup, or to his coach, or to Dak. So, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be I don't say great, but I think it's going to be a positive segue to just kind of a new unit because, like I said, it just, you know, going 3-4 years with Coop, and it was just always something, man. It was always smoke, you know what I mean? And we didn't know if the house was on fire, but there was definitely smoke, you know? And
only smoke I think it was from cooking.
Like, there was like, I don't mean smoke as in like beef, but I just mean it more in the metaphorical sense of there was something that as a fan base we were there was some inference that we were making. There was a lot of inferences we were. But
didn't we find out that Smoke was the offensive coordinator?
For sure. But we don't know why the offensive coordinator was acting like that with him. You know what I mean? Like, and if you just bring in a guy that the OC won't be petty, and I guess the true thing is get a new OC, you know, get a new coaching staff in here, but that's not going to happen. And even if you brought one in, you would still have to redevelop an offense that, you know, Dak would have to adjust, and you have to take kind of those runs through those adjustments.
I feel like you're trying to talk yourself into this.
It's not even talking myself into it, but it's just, again, like, if it wasn't enough to get us over the hump, like it's almost like we have to, like, I'm not saying try something new, but I mean it may turn out to be like a fresh change. You know, losing DeMarco Murray was like, why didn't y'all pay them? And it almost forced you to go in a different direction, and you end up getting Zeke, right? And so I think
now, you know,
that's
a running back, brother. A little bit different.
No. And no, it's not even. It's more or less the upgrade at a position that helps you offensively produce, more or less. You know, because he was definitely he helped the offensive production along with, you know, the O-line getting a little older and more just more seasoned. But it just kind of forces you to go a different direction, changing your personnel to where, like I said, I don't think Coop was a toxic player at all.
It wasn't.
But it's obvious that this front office, for whatever reason, just were, I don't know, we're just being petty, you know? And then, you know, the whole Randy Gregory situation, like I said, I mean, Michael Parsons, that's your lightning bolt, you know what I mean? And you know, Fowler.
Randy's whatever. Like again, Cooper, I'm more pissed that he gone than Randy. And that's no disrespect to Randy. It's no disrespect to him. It's just that you didn't have to re-sign Amari Cooper. He was here. And again, I don't want to go back down this hole, but
you didn't do anything with the money. You didn't do anything with the money.
Neither of their money.
I totally feel you, and like that's my only shining point of it is the fact that I mean, if you get a guy in the second round, I'm hoping that he will have like kind of a different relationship to where you'll see your receivers have more, you know, more catches than the tight end. But then again, we know how they like their guys. What's that called? That good old boy network, right?
Yeah.
And so that I think that's, you know, Dalton Schultz is definitely he's definitely benefiting from that, because I feel like we could have, I mean, you know, there's a ton of tight ends that you could have got signed for $3-4 million, as y'all discussed and kicked the dead horse, you know, many a time since all this has transpired. So, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to, you know, me. I'm on the move to try to find that bright spot.
I know. I'm listening. Listen, this whole call is about you trying to find that bright spot about Coop. I listen. I hear you.
And man, look, and I really stand to my guns when I feel like you have a chance to possibly benefit from not having whatever was going on between this front office and how they did Amari. You know, but there's also the chance that the guy you bring in, they're gonna do the same thing that they did to Amari. So I don't know, man. I don't know, Scott, man. I'm just like you said, find the bright spot. But man, have a happy Easter, bro.
You as well, sir.
Which I think was Good Friday, man. Y'all, you out here in you ever come down to Southeast Texas, get a little crawfish? You crawfish guy?
I haven't traveled around Texas just yet, man. Just been grinding this last year, trying to figure things out. So I got to start traveling around Texas.
All right, man. Well, be good, man. It's a big state, so I can understand, man.
Yeah. All right, brother.
All right, bro. Take it easy, man.
Appreciate the shit. Happy Easter. Sometimes you just got to take your L in regards to the Cowboys, right? Like, the Coop stuff is an L. Yeah, it is what it is. You know, hopefully something good comes from it, but, you know, I can't fake the funk to y'all. Y'all can be mad at me if I don't fake the funk, but just know I just can't fake the funk. I don't feel good about that. Now, maybe that changes in the draft or things like that, and they prove me wrong, or not even prove me wrong, just make me feel better with their actions in the season. But come on, man, Coop's a beast. You lost a really damn good player. Let's just hope that it doesn't hurt you. That's all. Boy, I was really holding on. That's my guy, but he just bringing back that Cooper energy. I try not to. You know what I mean? That Cooper energy. Go back and watch when that trade was made. Go watch the videos or the live stream. I was pissed. It's compensation, you know, and then we didn't use the money and just, all right, I'm done. Where's my safe word? My damn safe word.
I want me some glory hole.
All right, y'all ready? Oh, we had a couple donations. Let me get to that. My bad. Then we can go ahead.
Super chat.
Twan said, okay, my blood pressure's up, bro. Coop is nasty. We didn't use him right. Come on, fans. Fans be running out.
Super chat.
B Bird, this to D Schiff. They are not using the 5K lawnmower, but the job requires a 5K lawnmower. So get rid of it, and the job doesn't get done. Man, B Bird and this, love it, man. Then one more.
Super chat.
B Bird, he says, when they drafted CD and gave him 88, Coop days were numbered. Oh, absolutely, that is true. But things can change, right? I'd have kept him, but that's neither here nor there. Let's see. Let me make sure I can pull this up. And we can do this real quick before I go down this rabbit hole. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'll get back to the phones, I promise y'all. We're just gonna try to get through a few rounds of this first. Let's do 4. Let's do 4 rounds because we might have to trade a couple of these 3rd and 4ths to move up. We're gonna go on slow because we want to see where these teams, what they pick and who's there. Maybe we try to make a trade with one of them. We're gonna go more with the public board, not the PFF board. The PFF board can be strange. We are going to care for positional value and draft needs and less randomness. I feel like this could give us more realistic options. We'll see, right? So that's what we're going to do. All right, let's enter this draft. Everybody cool with those settings? Into the chat. All right, here we go. Start the draft. And there we go. Predictable. Aiden Hutchinson off the board. Thibodeau off the board. Kwanu. Okay, this is got to be a little bit realistic at this point. Ahmad, I've seen him come off the board early too. They replaced Peppers. There's Cross. That's one of the guys. So here comes that run on the tackles. 3 tackles in the top 7. Gone. Okay, so we're going to pause the draft real quick, and we're going to review this top 10. McDuffie went pretty high. Then they took 2 cornerbacks. All right. Yeah. So you got Hutchinson, Thibodeau, Ikwanu, Gardner, Hamilton, Cross, and Evan Neal, the first 7 picks. So 3 of the first 7 picks were tackles. So the one guy a lot of people wanted to trade up for, that was a 30 visit in this whole situation here, was Charles Cross. And he's gone. So Travon Walker won at number 9, and then McDuffie at 10. So right now, you can't see the players. I wish you could see the players here. Right now, I think we're still in good position to see if somebody falls to us. You may not even have to trade, but we're going to resume the draft. Karlaftis gone. Garrett, okay, here come the receivers now. Oh, I don't think they had took a Q, but they took one there. Go Drake. So 2 of the last 3 picks are receivers. Devin Lloyd off the board. All right, boom. Let's stop right here. Because now you're going to get Eagles, Saints, Chargers, Eagles, Saints. There is one guy still on the board, Cowboys days. 7 picks in front of you. I think this is where we can maybe exercise. You said you can't see? Uh-oh. Y'all said y'all can't see the screen? All right, well, let me see something here. Let me try to make it bigger. I mean, this is the same screen from the last John, I think. Let me see here. Let me just try to make this bigger for y'all, I guess. Any better for y'all? I'm looking on my phone. If you turn it sideways, should be good to go. Is everybody good on this? Should I make it bigger? Some people said we can't see. Some people said we can see. I want to make sure y'all got this. My apologies. Sound like we good to go. I mean, I'm making it a little bit bigger for y'all. Bye, folks. Nah, you should have kept. All right, so we're good. All right, so listen, y'all. Jordan Davis is still on the board. He's one of those guys. Cross is gone. I know somebody said Garrett Wilson earlier. I'm good not trading up for him. Dean is still there, though. But I think Jordan Davis, right? So let's just go ahead and play around and see what we can do. The Chargers could be looking at him because they need run stoppers. But Philly, they just re-signed Cox, right? But he's older, 1-year deal. They could be looking to replace him and pairing him with the cat that they got last year from, I think it was Ole Miss? The young buck, the young defensive tackle. All right, so can y'all hear too? Gee, what's going on? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to trade for the Chargers. We're going to try to trade up 7 picks. I think that's fair, and we know that they might have some interest in Jordan Davis. So obviously 24 is not going to do it by itself, right? Duh. For all my draft people. Well, JA, this is the experiment. This is the experiment today, JA. We're going to try to trade up and see what it looks like. For all my draft people, can I come up without giving up 56, or is that an absolute no-no? We'd have to dip into next year. Hold up. Wait. Y'all see that? 83% chance. This is what we talked about. We talked about it. Would you be willing to give up the third rounder to go get Jordan Davis, Cowboys Nation? That's an 83% chance, giving up 24 and 88. All right, so let me just see something. Yeah, I know it's 88. Can I get something back? All right, so I can give up 24 and 88, get 17 and 123 in return with a 60% chance of it being accepted. Do I get greedy? Remember, I'm Jerry, so I'm relying on y'all. Y'all are Stephen Jones and y'all are Will McClay, Stephen White, Stephen Jones. So y'all got to let me know. I'm coming to y'all. Do I get greedy here and go for 123? I know I can get it without 123, but do I try to add 123? See if that's the price. I'm thinking 3 picks. So here's the thing. You're saying so. Okay, so you're saying give up one of these. Okay, I see where we going here. I think this will do it. Are we cool with this? We're going to come up to 17. We're going to get 123. We're giving up 88 and 178. See, I'm not going to be. I want 123, so I want to get a pick back. So I'm gonna include that. Hell, y'all take one. I ain't gonna take that. I think this is the one, right? This is the one right here. I'm going up to 17. I'm going to get 123. I got to give up the third, obviously, in 88 and 178. I included 178 so I can get 123 back. I think this is it. I got a 70% chance. We're going to offer this trade. Let's see what happens. Oh, they didn't accept it. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, they didn't take that one. So do we come up a little bit more? I want 123 back. I'm being greedy. Screw y'all. What about this one? No, get more picks for us. That's why I want to get 123. Think about it. We're going to have 123 and 129. So that gives us more ammo to come back up into the third if we need to. Yeah, 167 is what I'm thinking too. Do we try this one? We got 4 attempts. I mean, this is what happens. This is what happens. You know, they say no. They say, okay, come back to the table. Let's see. And we're on the clock. All right, Cowboys Nation. We've traded our third round pick in one of those fifths, I believe. We moved up to 17 and also acquired 123. I'm going to be honest with you. Come on, dog. What we talking about here? We talk about Jordan Davis. I'm getting hyped like this is real because honestly, I mean, shoot, man, look at that. Jamison Williams is still there too. Oh, boy. But this is the one I'm coming up for, right? I'm turning in the card. You ain't gotta tell me twice. With the 17th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Georgia defensive tackle Jordan Davis, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go ahead and speed this thing back up a little bit. Now, you know what? I'm gonna let it slow it down because do we attempt to come up from 56? I'm gonna let this thing roll all the way down to about 25. We'll pause it here. I'll get to the phone lines and we can talk about what's our next move. All right, here are the picks after we picked Jordan Davis. Chris Olave, Devontae Wyatt, Nakobe Dean, Trevor Penning, Jamison Williams, Traylon Burks. I mean, honestly. So you would have had Linderbaum on the board possibly, depending on what the Chargers would have did there, but they took Ryman. I'm actually good with this. I'm actually good with this. I want to hear what y'all got to say about it. Let me get to the phone lines. We had Los on hold, then we get to T Smooth. Los, I traded my 3rd round pick, got Jordan Davis, man. How you feeling?
Hey, I'm happy with that, bro. I am, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
Hearing you talk with this mindset to attack, this offense, I really want to attack this defense and keep adding pieces to Dan Quinn's system. And I'm also on the fence. He was a huge part of Micah being great and utilized. Because let's say we do get a Olave or one of these top wide receivers. If we do not use his skill set, I am pretty sure that's going to frustrate all of us.
I mean, and taking a look at the board, Los, Burks, Williams, Wilson, Olave, Drake London, all are off the board before you get to 24. So you would have been going offensive line right there, right? Anyway, you would have been going Green or Zion, maybe Linderbaum. Maybe you not come up, but you take a tackle. I think it was a great pick. Now that I'm looking at a board, Phil, but go ahead.
Exactly. And let's say we put Jordan Davis and Dan Quinn system, boy, you know he's going to be utilized in the run game hugely. So that's a great pick. And then going back to our offense, if we do get wide receivers or any type of offensive, guard, center, it's going to be up to Kellen to be using the players to their skill set and using the right type of blocking system or any type of run plays, correct? Because with, our system, so-called system, it all depends on who's getting the ball, how we running, and everything. And so far, it's been proven that 3 curl routes and 1 drag type of playbook is not going to cut it. I mean, just going back to that play, Sky, that play will always haunt me is where the 2 wide receivers were colliding with each other and looking at the same, ball. I mean, I don't know. That's just me being frustrated right now. But
let's see if Kellen can progress as an offensive coordinator too, right? He's young. I've been saying it all damn year, really, even in the offseason. Let's see, right? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but the the green thing is gone now, bro. I can't call you green no more. This is year 4. Let's go. Okay? Let's see you adapt. Let's see you come up with these game plans to attack teams' weaknesses, even good teams, right? Good defenses have weaknesses in their defenses. Let's see you do that. All right? No more. You're not cutting you any more slack after this year. So maybe he'll get better.
Exactly. And in closing, Jerry out here is wilding with my subject.
My subjects. Yo, he's tripping.
My subject. Oh man, he out here.
Doing.
But I caught. By the way, what show were y'all talking about the watch the other day? Because I don't know that show.
Josie Wells, you talking about the? It's not a show. It's an old Western movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to write it in my notes, but I forgot what it was called. That's all.
It's all good. Voch is super cultured in that, man.
Yeah, just write it in the notes down in the comments for me, and I'll get to it. But if you're not into anime, Sky, you gotta watch Afro Samurai. You got to, man. Interesting fact: Samuel L. Jackson is the main voice character of that show.
All right, I'll take a look at it, brother. Appreciate
you. Peace. It's not for kids. Mature. Bye.
Manny and Dawn Ramirez says your screen is blurry. My end. So if you're watching on your phone, you should know this, but if you're watching on your phone and it looks blurry, go to the settings and make sure that the quality is set to 1080p or 720. Okay, that's all I can really tell you. Everyone else said they seem to be able to see it. I'll go back to the screen here so y'all can see. I understand this is it's a screen capture, so it's not going to be the greatest, but as long as y'all can see it, we're good to go here. All right, we'll get to T Smooth, and then we'll come back and see what we can do with this second pick. T Smooth, what it do?
Hey, Scott, how you doing, fam?
I'm good, bro. I'm excited after taking Jordan Davis with that 17th overall pick.
Yeah, I was going to get to that before you started doing that simulator, but it's cool because what you just did was perfect. You should not be trading up for anybody unless it's Davis. You're not going to get any one of those tackles unless you trade up in the top 9.
And that's what happened.
So, yeah. And from what I've been seeing, everybody been doing the mock simulators and stuff, the picks to get Davis is between 12 and 17. Minnesota and the Chargers are the ones that's been picking them. So that was perfect right there. So once you got Davis, we still had that second round pick, correct?
We still have the second round pick. Yep.
Okay, you're gonna have that second round pick. I know folks want to get a receiver, but you're gonna have to get a linebacker in that second round pick. And I would get Tyndale. I mean, I would get Tyndale because it's still a whole lot. I know most people want to get a receiver after that, but there's so many receivers. You can wait.
I'm very interested to see what happens here because receiver is still an option, but we want to attack the front. We want to attack these lines, right? We want to attack the defensive line and the offensive line. So I also want to see who's there at guard.
Yeah, and I was gonna get to that. So like you do Tyndale. So we got Davis and Tyndale. This is just what I would do. And then we still have one of those fourth round picks, correct?
We got 56 and 123. So we got a big gap between 56. We can package some of those.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we could package some of those late and see if we can get back into the third. So we're about to see because I'm about to let this run.
One of the receivers I do like is Danny Gray. You could get him in the 4th or 5th round, and then you have 3 players right there. And then if you don't draft the O-line, you still can go get what was that center for Cleveland? He's still out there.
Oh, Treader.
So because you didn't draft the O-line and then you gave up those picks. So you got Davis, Tyndale, and then you would get Danny Gray or whatever whatever receiver you want, and then you can go get Treader out of free agency. And then I would be straight from there.
All right. Well, let's see what happens.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
We're gonna let this roll and let's see what happens, bro.
Right. But that's all I wanted to say.
I appreciate you, T Smooth.
All right,
keep rocking, brother. All right, so I'm looking in the chat here. You want me to N9 wants me to trade up for Kenyon. I don't know where we're going to be able to get back to the first without giving up next year's first, right? So probably not the thing to do here. My guy, T Smooth, appreciate you. All right, so let's roll this thing to 30. Let's see what happens. All right, there's Booth off the board. We like that. We want corners to go. Ajabo, hey, we'll take that off the board too. And there goes Kenyon Green. Interesting. So Green's off the board at 28, Cowboys Nation. And here comes Kansas City with back-to-back picks. Do we dare? How far would I trade up Sis Toxic to get Kyle? Probably about the same range. And honestly, and I love Kyle Hamilton. It's just that I think Davis is such more of a need and to me, just as a dynamic of a player. And I love Kyle Hamilton, but man, 7, he'd have to fall around here. This is interesting because they got back-to-back picks. They might be willing to come out of that, but that we might be being greedy, Cowboys Nation. Do we even see a need to come up here? That's a bit greedy. That's the beast said, let it fall. We got Davis. I'm with you. Here's where I'm actually interested in coming back up. 40 and 41. So I'm going to let this roll. Let's let this roll a little bit. Let's see what happens. Y'all can't even see the damn screen. There we go. All right, Elam's off the board. Dotson's off the board. Okay, all right, here we go. Receivers. All right, so the first round is over, and then Lewis Seen is the first pick in second round. I like how this board is falling. The top receivers are gone. London, right? Wilson, Olave, Burks. They're gone. The 2 guards are gone. Zion Johnson and Green. Dotson, That's about where I think he was going to sneak up there. I was talking to somebody about this, and Matt Corral for the Lions, and then seeing, all right, I'm cool. Let's let it roll. We saw your thoughts, those guys. Ooh, somebody said Pickens. I know. And I just talked about this yesterday on the volume about being good with Pickens as a first round talent. Because this guy, he's gone. Dax Hill, okay. Boye Mafe, okay. Travis John, there goes Travis. Not cool. Oh, wait a minute. All right, let's pause it. Let's go ahead. Let's pause it. Let's review. Scene's gone. Sky Moore's gone. I think Dax Hill, you can live with that. You can live with Mafe. You can live with Scene. Travis Jones, you already got Davis. Penn State Edge, Arnold. Ibidiki, you can live with that. And Brisker, you can live with that. I think you can live with how this just fell to you. Is Zion on the board? No. Zion was taken at 29. You are 16 picks away. Professor O talked about this yesterday. The Seahawks are prime trade candidates here at 40 and 41. Do we dare come up? You still need a guard. We talk about the wide receiver situation, linebacker. We got to be careful. Trading all these picks, knowing you still need guard, linebacker, wide receiver. This is why it'd been nice if you would have went and got. So, I'm gonna let y'all talk me out of it, but right now I think I'm good on holding tight. Are we in agreement here? Are we gonna hold tight here, or do y'all want to go up and get Pickens? I would hold tight right here, y'all. Devin says, at this point, I think I'm team receiver in the first and guard in 56. Okay, guard. MLSU says Sully. Victor says, while we are enamored with Davis. What do you mean while we enamored with Davis? Go watch him, brother. Also, is Professor O in the building? Because I also saw somebody say, he doesn't play X amount of snaps and things like that. And Professor O kind of broke that down a little bit. So I would love to see if he's in there. He talked about, the game script. He talked about, obviously, all the talent on that defensive line in general, blowouts, things of that nature. So, wonder if he's in here. Trade back. Well, we're good. Well, we're not gonna trade back just yet. It's not our pick. So I'm gonna let this roll. Let's see what happens when we get to pick 45. Okay, they took the QB. Pickett, who we all think. And there goes Pickens. They got a Pickett and they got a Pickens. Okay. Gordon. Out. The board is not the worst enemy right now. All right, hey, man. Patriot, hey. We'll get to 50 and then we'll review. Okay, here we go. Picks 40 through 49. You got Pickett and Pickens, back-to-back Seahawks. Good picks there. Gordon, Howe, Breece Hall, Logan Hall, 2 Halls, Petrie, Ritter, McCreary, and Watson. 7 picks away. I ask again. Yeah, we missed Pickens. I'm feeling good. I'm still looking at the trenches. It's not sexy picks right now with Jordan Davis in the trenches, but I'm still looking at the trenches. Now, this is why we did this exercise. See, when you trade up one of these positions, you got interior offensive line, interior defensive line, wide receiver, and linebacker. One or two of those positions are going to be missed out on in the top 100 because you traded up. So here we are, 6 picks away. Are we good here? You know what, Gregory? That's a damn good point. Did Nakobe didn't get picked? No, he definitely had to get picked. Yeah. Come on, man. You almost had me. Yeah, he got picked, number 20. He got picked. All right, let's go a couple more picks here and see what happens. Boy Walker off the board. Tyler's. Christian Harris. Okay, so. That was my guy. He took Chad Boomer. Yo, that was my guy. That was my guy right there. I would have just been Jerry Jones on y'all. I'm going to just keep it real. Y'all wouldn't have tried to take Chad, but I would have been like, I'm going to just Jerry Jones you. Give me Chad. I think he'll be fantastic next to Micah. Damn. All right, man. Here we are. Pick 56. We're looking at, we need a guard. Oh, we got to go OT because some of those guys. We're looking at receiver and we're looking at linebacker, correct? I don't think we can afford to try to get cute and take an edge here. I like the options, though. Don't get me wrong. You got Kennard still on the board. I like Anderson. Smith a little bit lower. Sailor's here. You got options. Shakir, if you want to jump a little bit. Mechie. You got options here. You got options. Let's get on the phone. Let's see what y'all talking about here on the phones with these options. B Bird. OG, what's good?
Hey, nothing much, Scott. How you doing this morning, bro?
Man, I'm having fun. I like this exercise.
Yeah. So one of the things I've told you before that, I get my draft information from you and Boss, man, to be honest with you. I kind of listen to what you guys said. And last year.
Make sure you check out Voch, JC, Joe Rod, Foots. They're very good with the draft, too. Much better than me.
Okay. I'll check those guys out also. Yeah. But one thing last year, like you got me on Parsons, from the Parsons bandwagon last year, so I started checking him out. And I was like, man, this dude is that big and that fast.
He don't make sense.
And can play. What it is, it was just a physical freak. So while everybody else, some other people had the offensive lineman from the Chargers, which would have been a good pick also. But I really wanted Parsons. So when he was there, I was like, man, yeah, we finally got a physical freak. I say that because Jordan Davis is that born this year.
Yes, sir.
Nobody that big, that tall should be able to run that fast. And then you put him at the one technique. I think that's where he played, correct?
Yeah, he would be one tech here. But you know what I'm starting to realize a little bit, B-Bird, is that we almost got to eliminate the one tech, three tech as we see it until we get an actual one tech full-time guy, right? Because we've seen Dan Quinn put Carlos Watkins at one tech. He's not a true one tech. So.
Yeah.
But Davis would be your run-of-the-mill one tech, yeah.
Yeah. And so I just want to comment on that. That's the guy I want this year. Another thing I was going to say is that, I did make a comment that I really don't care about after the fourth round. I really don't care about the draft picks after that. I think people get too caught up with the draft and it's fun and all that kind of stuff. But you rarely get players out of those rounds of fifth, sixth, and seventh. And some people point out some players like Tom Brady and some other guys like that. But I'll tell them that I don't base my decision on the exception. You know what I'm saying? I base it on a rule.
Right.
Your first three rounds and then fourth round will be where you get the majority of your players. You just go out our roster and just kind of look around and see that's where we're getting our players from. So, like, if somebody wants to trade, like, if I had to trade up to get Jordan Davis, I just got to trade what I need. If that's my guy. If it's your guy, you just use what you got to go get him.
Yeah, there's certain players like that. And again, there's only a handful, brother, that I'm willing to do that for, and he was one of them. And it's not – if he was, like, one-dimensional – what I mean by one-dimensional, because a lot of people are going to say, well, he is one-dimensional. Sky, he's a one-tech. He's going to have to come off the field and things like that. What I mean is he helps multiple levels of your defense, so to me he's multidimensional. Like his impact is multidimensional. He helps in the run game, right? He can get push and disruption in the pass game by putting that guard or center in the pocket of the quarterback in Cowboys Nation. Y'all know how important that is because we've seen it with Tyler Biadasz and with Connor Williams getting pushed back into your quarterback's lap, right? So that helps your secondary, and then he keeps your linebackers clean, and he's going to help out LVE. He's going to help out, Micah Parsons. He's going to help out Jabril Cox. So I just think he helps your defense out on all three levels.
I agree. And I have another thing. This will be my last thing. It's So you got me on board with this. This is about 3 years ago, maybe. Me and you. This was one of your, when you first started. Me and you was having conversations, and you said, "Man, I just don't value the running back position." You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you can basically find a guy, third, fourth round, maybe fifth round, that tote the rock, where the drop off is not as great. And I understood what you were saying then. Like, if you put the money elsewhere, you can get a guy that can tote the rock. Well, that bears out to be true, because if you look at all the successful teams, they're not putting a lot of money in running back.
They're not.
So, but the thing I want to tell you how that happened, and if you really understand it. So what we used to have back in the 90s, 80s, early 2000, we have these guys running for 1,500, 1,600 yards and 14 touchdowns or so, right? So now they come to the negotiation table and say, look, I ran for 1,500 yards. I got 14 touchdowns. I want this amount of money. What they did is they said, hey, what if one guy gets 700 yards, the other guy gets 700, the other running back gets 700 yards? It's still a 1,400. One guy gets 7 touchdowns, the other guy gets 6 touchdowns. It's still 13 touchdowns. But when we negotiate against them, what they're bringing to the table is 700 yards and 7 touchdowns. You get what I'm saying? And so that's the devaluing right there. What they did is just split them up because they figure, hey, we don't need one guy doing all this because it's going to make those numbers look really big. And so, and the negotiation for that said player is going to be really, really, you've got to pay him a lot of money because of what he's done. But that's how they devalue the position in that. I mean, I think the position is still very important, but I think that's what happened with it. But the question I was going to ask you, do you think that the Cowboys are trying to do that with the wide receiver position?
Interesting. I mean, it's hard to say because they did value it, right? They spent a first-round pick on it to get Amari Cooper. Then they paid him. Then they also spent the first-round pick on CD Lamb, right? And maybe they'll pay him too. So if I had to be honest, I would say no, they're not devaluing the position because of how they acquired said guys. Now, are they using them right? No, right? So if you want to argue, well, I shouldn't say that because CD Lamb had 1,100 yards last year, right? 6 touchdowns, and that's without being the guy at the end of the season. So I'd say no. I'd say they're not trying to devalue the position. I just think this one specific coordinator's, his process about not having one guy or channeling one guy, it can be flawed at times. So no, I wouldn't say they're devaluing it, but I can see where you're getting at.
Yeah. So I want to ask you a question because they hired this coach, and I don't know if he's a quality control coach. Who's this guy? He's going to help out with the offense. Let me tell you this, man. That might be a low-key surprising hire in the fact of I think they did that to help Kellen. As I think about this offseason, man, I don't know if Kellen is our issue or the system is our issue. And so but if the Kellen is our issue, he needs somebody to bounce some things off of. Sure. And just somebody to say, hey, man, what are you seeing that I'm doing? And what are they doing to me that I'm not overcoming? He needs to be able to toss that around to someone. I don't feel like he had that last year at all.
Well, so Brian Schottenheimer is replacing the cat's name. He's over there in Panthers right now. The former, y'all help me out here. The former offensive coordinator and head coach for the Giants. Goodness, brain fart here. Somebody's about to tell me.
I can't remember.
Somebody's about to tell me. But he replaced him. So he had that guy McAdoo. Thank you. Ben McAdoo.
Oh, okay.
He was that guy last year that did the analytics. They're going to pull certain teams' tendencies and how they play on this down and distance against this formation, et cetera, et cetera. So he had that guy. Brian Schottenheimer is just going to be a different guy. Both of those dudes, though, respectively, are not really highly favored in the NFL. So I would have plucked somebody out off of, the Rams or something like that.
So let me ask you a question, and you may know this, and I don't know the answer to this question. I'll ask you. So I think I've asked you this before, but I don't remember the answer. Do the Cowboys self-scout? Like if the does the defense
McCarthy said
look
they
at
do.
the offense and say you got this is your tendencies and this is what they're seeing. You're doing too much of this on this down or in this distance or at this part of the field, or you're doing something, because it seems like to me they're not. But if they are, then that's something different. And Scott, I'll let you answer that question, man, and I'll get on and let somebody else on. Man, it was great talking to you again, brother.
Appreciate you, B-Bird.
All right.
McCarthy said they self-scout. I mean, he talks about that, it seems like every freaking week. Self-scout. We got self-scout. So I'd say, yeah, they self-scout. Couple donations, and then we'll get back to the draft.
Super chat.
Twan said, no linebacker yet. Davis helps us with that for a later pick. Very good point. Maybe we don't have to panic to take a backer here because now you're at 123, though. Well, we'll see. And then Twan again
Super
with
chat.
the $2 donation said, running back by committee don't work for everyone. It does not. I think the running back by committee is based off of the system that you have, the offensive coordinator being able to utilize everything else correctly. But I am in favor of it because I've seen it. Mind you, this isn't new. Before we even drafted Ezekiel Elliott, in 2015, I used to do a little fan post on Blogging the Boys and things like that. I did a study. I went back and looked at, and that was 7 years ago. So I did a study on Super Bowl teams, not just the winners, but the participants and things like that. That went back from 2014 or 2015 all the way back to the beginning of 2000. And I looked at how many workhorses won the Super Bowl in that stretch. And mind you, 2000, we still weren't where we are as a passing league. And I found there were a lot more committee or duo approaches that were successful. You just have to commit to that, meaning how you draft, how you utilize these guys, and then your guys have to be okay with that as well. So it can work, right? It can work. And I know numbers because my man Twan brought up a good point in the comments. You know, if you technically look at numbers for quarterbacks, you don't win Super Bowls when they have, what is it? Something like 15% of the cap or something like that. So you can use those numbers against quarterbacks, but it's completely different when it comes to running backs. Go look. The Super Bowl winners, they're not even coming close to 15. It's something like 3% of the cap, if that. There's certain guys who are making less than $3 million. It might not even be 3%. So those are different positions. Obviously, the importance of quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a good conversation to have, though. But here we are. Pick 56. I was trying to think about this the whole time. What do we do here? I'm leaning towards Kennard, y'all. I mean, Kennard or Jamari. Whoever the heck you like better. Honestly, you know, that's a preference situation here. But are we wrong for going guard here? I don't think so. Again, right? We talk about Jordan Davis and the impact he has on multiple levels of your team. Well, yeah, obviously, if you beef up the front, that's going to help Dak. That's going to help the running game, Zeke, TP, make Kellen look better. So I'm leaning towards Kennard, you know. But again, I'm Jerry. So, you know, I didn't go down to Kentucky. I didn't go down to Georgia. Y'all did, right? Professor O, he the head coach down there at Georgia, right? You tell me, Kennard or Jamari, right? I need my Will McClays. I think guard is the responsible pick here, right? Or do we trade back and try to get a third? Do we trade back and try to get a third? Let's see what we can do. We have 56. I ain't really trying to go further than Kansas City's pick, but Kansas City also could use help, so I don't want them to jump me. Let's try. Yo, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to trade back a little bit. Is 62 too far? You think we're gonna miss out on one of those guards? Nick Benito went right before us. Are we in favor of trying to trade back? Anybody, you know, not approving of this? Mind y'all, we take the guard here. We're not picking again till 123. Steven said top guards are gone. Get a rusher. You talking about Kingsley, Drake, Cam Thompson? I mean, yeah, rusher. But if Benito was there, y'all, trust and believe me, I probably would have just Jerry Jones. John said, screw it, I'm taking him. 62 should be fine. Sailor's the guy. All right, I'm gonna try to do something. My bro said trade back. I'm gonna try to see if we can recoup that third round. Just give me a second. Try to trade back here. All right, so y'all, we want y'all 62, but I want 94 too, man. Back at 94. We give y'all 56. We got to give them something, Cowboys Nation. Obviously, wait a minute now. Y'all want 123. What about 129? Yeah, what about 155? All right, now that's getting a bit rough. Okay, so look, y'all, we can go back 6 spots and pick up an extra third. Isn't this a no-brainer? Isn't this a no-brainer? I mean, I could be a little, I can give them 129 if we're trying to be a little bit more fair. 85% chance that will work. 155 is only going to give us 69%. And remember, we had a 70% chance earlier, and they said no. But so what? Let's try it. And we got it. Okay. So they were like, hell yeah, we want to come up to 56. We want to get Kenneth Walker. Interesting. They wanted that running back that damn bad. So here we are, 5 picks away. We are now, and see, this was always the way to go. If you're going to trade up in the first, we talked about this all week, and I'll get back to it, I promise y'all. If you're going to trade up in the first, giving up that 3rd round pick, you've got to find a way to recoup that 3rd round pick in the second. And I think this right here is a responsible trade back. So let's see what happens. I'm going to let it roll. We're not going to stop it. We're going to get to 62 and see what happens and just live with it. Marion Winfrey, all right. We just need a couple more picks. Cam Thompson, all right. We in the clear if we want to guard. Don't take him. Okay, we good. So Jamari's gone. Where'd he go? Am I tripping? Okay, there goes Kennard. But Kennard's still there. Troy's still there. Some people like Leo Chenal. He's still there. Kingsley's still there. Cowboys Nation, I mean, this is I'm taking a guard here. I'm Jerry. Somebody push me up against the wall. Take the card out my hand. Are we tripping? I want a guard. I want to get my guard. And that's a big boy, too. That's a strong cat. He can move people. We got any Stephen Joneses out there? Stephen White, you are Stephen Jones of this this exercise. Are you snatching a card from me, Stephen? Looks like you getting out ruled though in that war room. Don't take a guard to just take a guard. No. Yeah, Toxic. I don't want to take one to take one. There are guys I like. Jamari, Darian, obviously the top 2. After that, Ingram, right? After that, I can wait a little bit. But if I can get me a guard that I believe in, and a different type of guard, right? Like listen, McGovern and Williams aren't power guys. Kennard is. Ganja, man, I know, man. Troy Anderson, I like Troy a lot. Here we go. We're doing it. We got a 3rd round pick. 2nd round pick, 62. Cowboys select offensive tackle, moving him to guard, Darian Kennard. Let's let it roll. Let's see what happens here. We got a lot, so I'm gonna speed this up because I'm not gonna do too much. I don't want to be too unrealistic and like all these trades, right? So we're gonna let this just fall to us and try to keep it as realistic as possible. Got ways to go, so we are not out the woods yet. I mean, the board is not hurting you right here. Tackles is moving though, boy, ain't they? Shakir. Maybe I should have stopped at 89, but nah, I told y'all I don't want to do too many trades. Okay. So it looks like Parham and I think Ingram might have been there. Still, oh no, Ingram gone. All right, so right now, pick 94, here we stand. We got Jordan Davis at 17. We got Darian Kennard at 62. And this is our last top 100 pick. Listen, I really love boasting these front lines right now. I do. Really hard pressed not to go linebacker or wide receiver right here, right? Are we in agreement? Linebacker, wide receiver is likely the pick. Linebacker's tough though. JoJo wouldn't be bad here, I don't think. Or do we go edge? Or do we dare? Look, Al said tight end. Devin said the real impact wideouts are gone. Oh yeah, sure. Once you get here, yeah, they definitely gone. But let me take off the linebackers real quick. Quan, but you can get to Quan later. Same thing with Jones Jr. This is where it gets funky. Cowboys Nation. How we feeling? Let me take off linebacker or wide receiver and just go to where we're at. Now, Deesh, again, what's up with this Deesh dude? He's just always there. Tripp says we don't have tight end. Keith says David Bell. That's a guy that I was looking at. Sam Williams or Barno. But in this, see, I already know Sam Williams is going to be available later. So, man. I think this comes down to wide receiver and linebacker. So we're going to put those boys back on the board. We're going to figure this out. Now, Will, I'm going to need you to let me know what to do here. You know, I haven't visited JoJo. Who's this Damon? You know, he's LSU. Hey, Jerry, now listen, he got a whole spine thing going on, Jerry. Jelani Woods or Fortner? Do we dare? What about Jelani Woods? Look at Edge. Yeah. Edge could be a situation here. Ooh, I do like. See, Western Kentucky. Can y'all let me know if D'Angelo Malone was a transfer? I mean, that's way down, but was he a transfer from a Power 5? Because we know they don't like small school guys. But they brought Myjai Sanders. I'll scroll down a little bit more for y'all. We got to make this one count. Jelani Woods at big slot, wide receiver, linebacker. We're finding a line of play right now. Sam Williams. Yeah, but I feel like Sam, where he at? He might have even got taken. They don't like Sam Williams on here. Let me take out. They don't like Sam Williams. There he goes, 131. I mean, I guess this actually makes sense for the Dallas Cowboys. This makes sense because they visited him. They like him. The ceiling of Sam Williams is better than the floor. All right, let's put him on the list. Sam, I'll take a look at the tight ends too real quick. Lots of them still there. Rucker, wow, he's still here. Weidemeyer, Jelani, Derek D. I'm not taking the tight end right here, bro. We can go with 123 and get a tight end. I'm almost positive we can. Right? We can do that. So let's go back to wideouts. Let's go to linebacker and edge. It's of those three. All right. B702, Sam Williams or tight end. PFF has Williams ranked too low. And that's the thing about PFF. That's why I want more public board than PFF board. I kind of agree. I'll build up at least 5 under 100, then I can trade down. Get Jelani or Sam. Are we on grease with Sam here? A lot of people are bringing up Sam. 9 deep wants to go O-line. I'm good. I can wait a little bit. It's pick 94. This isn't early. I consider top 100. I need my top 100s to be participants, right? I need my first 3-round picks to participate in some way, shape, or form. Cam Burgers. You mean Cam Jurgens? That autocorrect got you. Okay, I think y'all talked me into Sam. I might like the Cincinnati cat better, but a little bit smaller. Or Bell, the wide receiver. Sam ain't playing no damn middle linebacker. You know that guy. You know that ganja. Well, the tight ends is deep. That's why the tight ends. We got a lot of tight ends. I'm leaning towards Sam. Somebody come take the card out of my hand. Somebody take the card. This seems a bit more realistic for the Cowboys. They visited him. They like him. He's super athletic. I mean, ridiculously athletic. He's got some upside to him. The linebackers would be JoJo. That would be the one I'd probably go with if Clark wasn't, the spine thing, but the whole spine thing with him. Now, DeMarco Jackson, this is who my guy told me to check out. He might be available later on, so let's keep pause on him. I know CT Madden. He said Myjai over Sanders. Over Sam. Oh, dude, though. I'm gonna go Sam, y'all. I think that's where I'm at with it. They not gonna like this on PFF, but Cowboys select at 94 edge Sam Williams. Now, before y'all get crazy, let's remember defensive end of the future is really not locked down there. It's really not locked down. So maybe Sam could be the guy. But this is, again, when you trade up, this is the situation you run into. Cam Jurgens gone. So centers kind of went on a run here. Cam Jurgens, Donovan West went. Deesh is gone. Clark went. Sanders went a little bit after us. Malone. So maybe we made the right decision. And Bell won a couple picks later. Because if you look at the edge rushers, some of the top edge rushers got plucked off the board. Malone, Sanders. Oh, look, Jelani went at 115. This would be where tight end could be a decision here. This is where I would kind of start looking at tight end. And they brought in Cade Otton. They brought in Wademeyer, and they brought in Ruckert. We still ain't take a wide out, though, right? He's more of an edge, TC915, talking about Sam. More of an edge. I'm looking at tight end. And we brought in a lot of these guys. Ruckert was brought in. Otton was brought in, and Wademeyer. I like Otton over Ruckert, but then Wademeyer had he's had a terrible offseason. You probably get him in free agency. I know, Al. Yeah, I wanted Jelani to fall here. He didn't. Marcus Hayes would have been a good pick, but he didn't. Are we looking at tight end here, or do we want to go try to get a linebacker? Because linebackers is very few and far in between. There's DeMarco Jackson. Put up tight end. Wide receiver we didn't take either. Where y'all want to go here? Bigger need than tight end? I kind of agree, but I think we're getting now to the point where you're talking about value. And I think Ott and Rucker are probably going to be gone. Tight end started to go a little bit here. Jelani went. I think, did Deese go? Oh, no, Deese is still there. I guess you can get him later. I got my eyes on Thornton later, y'all. I truly do. I got my eyes on him. Y'all let me know. Isaiah Likely went. I'm gonna center this thing around Jackson, Ruckert, and Otten. My Will McClays. How we feeling? Jackson, Ruckert, or Otten. And honestly, I would take a tight end over the linebacker right now at this point. Tino wants Jackson. What if we could sneak him at 129? We got 6 picks later. Y'all want me to take a wide out? I'm looking at Thornton. Later. I like speed, and he got some size to him in regards to length. So I got my eyes on a couple picks to end this thing here. Yeah. Jeremy says Otten. I'm looking at Otten too. It's Otten or Ruckert for me. That's a tough one. I've made my decision. As owner, general manager, president of these Dallas Cowboys, we're going to take tight end Cade Otton. Let's see. Look, Ruckert went right after. Hey, we're still sitting here. Now we still got DeMarco Jackson, who I like at this position, or Thornton, who is the other wide receiver I'm looking at. And that's where I'm going to narrow it down to. I'm going to pull my Jerry card. I'm going to pull my Jerry card, and y'all can fight over it. I'll be right back. I'm going to get some water, go get me something to eat. Jackson or Taquan Thornton, who I think is a sleeper. Let's see. Another guard. We don't need that, though. Wide receiver, what do we say? And linebacker. This guy speaking to his subjects. That shit's hilarious. Gray at wide receiver. What about the UCLA wide receiver? Talking about Kyle Phillips. I'm not going to fake the funk. Y'all have to tell me about him. I took a look at Thornton, obviously, after he ran that blazing speed, and I was like, oh, I like him. So y'all would have to let me know. You know, I'm pulling it's not even Jerry. I'm kind of pulling y'all can't see the full board here, can y'all? Yeah, I can see Thornton. I'm pulling kind of a Al Davis. Kind of falling in love with that speed in regards to Taquan Thornton. He's the one thing we're kind of missing with the speed. But you also have DeMarco Jackson, who I'm giving credit to. I think it was B who told me to look him up. And we need a linebacker and we need a wide receiver. So y'all going to have to come out here and let me know. Tino said the UCLA guy's a sleeper. Still good guy. I don't feel like a Jets fan in this mock. Yes, get them freak speed. I'm feeling that too, man. I'm feeling that too, Chris. Y'all better talk me out of it. Steven has said they are good at linebacker for what it's worth. That's true, JP. Y'all not talking me out of it. I'm channeling my inner Al Davis here with Taquan. Hit the Quan. I'm about to hit the Quan on y'all. Unless y'all could talk me out about this wide receiver from UCLA. Y'all said he is sleeper. But I'm going to be real with you. At pick 120, where we at? 129, I'm kind of looking at traits. JP said bring the speed. That's what I'm looking at, traits. Can I get a guy that could be like, yo, go out there and just run past everybody? Eric Izumaka. How you say that? Izukanma? That's it. Y'all ain't talking me out of it. I'm going rogue. Cowboys select. Ooh, it is a bit late. A bit early. We take it up to Quad Thornton. They ain't going to like this, though. We took the speed. I elected to go with speed here. So that would give us CeeDee Lamb, Washington, Thornton, and I forget who else. Yeah, they didn't like. I knew they wasn't going to like the Thornton one. Oh, well, they gave us a B, though. They gave us a B. So here's where we're at. We did 2 trades. We tried to stay realistic, Cowboys Nation. I didn't want to do too many moves. We completed the project today. The project was about what would it look like if the Cowboys traded up into the draft. So pick 17, they traded up for Jordan Davis. Then we got to pick 56. And we wanted to try acquire another 3rd round pick, and we did. We traded back 6 spots, picked up 94, and got Darian Kennard. So we addressed the trenches. You got your guard for the future, and you got your behemoth for the future in Jordan Davis, who I think can affect all areas. Then it got a little, okay, now we got to make sure we hit these things right, and it could become very questionable. But Sam Williams, the Cowboys like. You do need an edge of the future. They like him. He has some potential. I don't think he's day one ready to be your guy, but he doesn't have to be, and he's a 3rd round pick, so he can develop. He can come in as rotation. He's got the size. He's got the speed. He's not as twitchy, but, hey, man, if you get Micah Parsons rushing, you got Jordan Davis pushing at you, you got DeMarcus Lawrence on the other side, that means you're going to get a one-on-one for an athletic freak, so we'll see. And then Cade Otton, who has tight end 1 potential, I think he'll get taken before round 4, but you get him in round 4 to be your tight end 2, and you could tell Dalton Schultz, hey, brother, we appreciate you. If you ain't going to take a cheap contract, you know, we'll use you this year. We'll run 2 tight end sets. They like to run that, and we'll rock out with Cade Otton. And then we went with speed. We just straight up went with speed. Taquan Thornton, sub 4.3 speed. We didn't give a damn about anything else. We just wanted a fast guy, get him out there, and let's see what we can do. So, Cowboys Nation, how we feeling? Do we like this draft? You drafted an F. Yeah, they gave him an F for that. Unless you mean this whole draft is an F. I wouldn't say that's an F. I wouldn't call this draft an F. I think B's fair. Throw them at me. Throw out the grades. Tripp says fail. JP, this is a very good draft. Semi Failco, yeah, Semi. So he was the other guy. That's the one position until. Here's the thing about it. By getting the offensive guard, a power dude at that, you would hope that we would be more Cowboys weeks 1 through 6, where we ran the ball a lot and ran it productively. Therefore, you would hope to get by with this wide receiver by committee, because let's remember, Michael Gallup will return. So once you hit October, Gallup's back. Now your receivers are CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, James Washington, Thornton. Again, not better than last year, not even close. But let's see if these traits went out. Appreciate you, Sully, for the donation.
Super chat.
Says, can you look at who's around the picks we traded? I can go look at the full results, but we don't got to go too in depth, Sully. TT915. I love Davis and Kennard. I like Sam, but not a fan of the last 2 picks. Yeah, it gets sketchy towards the end. Professor O says really good draft. 3.5 starters. Otten being the half. See, that's another way to look at it, right? Who's your other starter? So you got Sam being a starter? I'm guessing you mean Professor O as a future starter. At the end of the day, due diligence paid off, JP. Jeremy says an A. I like this as Chris. I'll let you get some safeties now, Sky, says Stephen White. All right, Steve, so you're going to let me get my safeties in the 4th and 5th round, or the 5th and 6th round? Cool. Made a great trade, says Trips. Every time we get a fat boy run stopper, it never pans out. Whoo! Let me channel my inner WWE. Whoo! What fat boy run stopper we get in the draft? Just Blaze? You ain't drafted no fat boy run stopper in the first round. Hell, in the first 3-4 rounds in years. So you gotta let me know. A+ Professor O, B+ Keith, A says Derek, A-. That's the thing, right? The linebackers, we didn't get a linebacker. Big Sar says C-. One in the wide receiver earlier. Yeah, set it off. Chris gave it fire. Check out UCLA Phillips tape. Yeah, whoever was telling me about the UCLA receiver, let me write that down. I added him to the Derek Jackson. What's his name? Phillips. Check him out so I make sure I'm not behind. We got Ryan Nall. Improvement says Manny, C+. So looks like majority of Cowboy fans feel good about this draft. I saw a couple C+ or C's in there, which isn't a failure. It's just whatever. I like it. Again, I'll go back to it. We'll review if y'all just tuning in. We want Davis, Kennard. By the way, we traded up to get Davis. Then we traded down to acquire 3rd to get Kennard, Sam Williams, K-Dot, and Taquan Thornton. Screenshot it. Share it. Let us know how A to Z Sports Dallas interactive mock draft with our project of trading up. I like it. I'm going to give it a clue bomb. I like it, Cowboys Nation. That was fun. One a little longer, but that was fun. I appreciate y'all for sticking it out with me. These live interactive mock drafts, I like them. You know, we got one more left to do next week. It's the final mock draft. The final mock draft. Maybe it won't be Monday. We'll figure out which day to do it, and that's what we'll do. And maybe we'll do a little game and see who can correctly pick the Cowboys' first pick, whether it be trade up, trade down, or stay put. And we'll do a giveaway or something cool, some type of prize, man. The usual short show. I didn't say it was gonna be short today though, so I made sure to watch what I had to say, choose my words carefully. But yeah. So I like the draft. Next week will be our final mock. Thank goodness y'all know I'm not a big fan of mock drafts, but I wanted to do something different this year and make it interactive with y'all, and that's what we did. All right. Tune in later with my guy, Mauricio Rodriguez on A to Z Sports Prime Time. Check me out about 3 p.m. Central. Be producing the show for Vach over on the Volume. And then come back tomorrow, man. It's Feel Good Friday. Feel Good Friday. I feel good. I feel like it's Feel Good Friday today. That was fun. With that said, I'm going to hit that button. So we out of here. Tune in later. Love y'all. Y'all been great. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out, too, by the way. Share this thing. And subscribe if you have not. My subjects. He's wild. What's wrong with Jerry, yo? We out here. Peace. Hey, birthday shout out to my guy Trey, man. And happy birthday, bro.
I want me some glory hole.